How's everybody doing? Good. Good evening. So NFL made the right move there, with the lightning in the area. So that was good to see. The guys, I thought, did well today in terms of the first operation of preseason, in terms of the offense, defense, kicking. The one thing in this game, I know it sounds, obviously basic, but is to have the substitutions right. Make sure that we have, the guys out there are supposed to be out there, who we're supposed to see, the number of plays that we want to see guys playing. You don't want to put a certain player in harm's way for too long, so we do a really good job with that, communicating that. And then what I noticed was the offensive staff being the first time together, the communication. I thought that was outstanding the whole night. The way they operated when they were not on the field with the players, and the way they operated in the halftime was really good. And then during the game when they were on the field, and they did a great job communicating, working together. And several of those guys have worked together before, but it's a new group, and I thought they did a really good job with that. Staying with the offense, the 2-minute drive at the end of the half I thought was really nice, being able to work that down. We work on that very diligently every single day. And then coming out after halftime adjustment, going down and scoring again, I thought that was really good. And then what stood out for me on defense was the sudden change. We had that muff punt, and then the ability to go 3 and out there and then force that missed field goal. I thought that was really good energy and nice job by those guys. We were very vanilla on both sides of the ball today in terms of the play calling, what was available to us. But we were looking for fundamentals and basics from the whole group. And you saw on defense a little bit, we lost leverage a couple of times, had some missed tackles, which created new first downs for them. We had the big penalty on the first drive, the holding penalty there. That kind of hurt us there too. But for the most part, the guys operated well. I thought the energy was really good. The intensity was good. And this time of year, you always got to work on the basics, the fundamentals, the tackling, the leverage, finishing your blocks, on offense and doing things the right way. So it's a big week ahead of us. We got a lot of things to accomplish. A couple guys to note, obviously Colin did a really nice job, had a really good game. Rip had a really good game in terms of his operation of the offense. Had some really good shots in there. Herb had a couple big runs. Rowe did good. Popped a couple runs there. So overall, it was a good start.
How bad were the conditions from your view, and did you have any input? Did they consult with you at all about what you wanted to do as far as the game once it was stopped?
Yes, they put us in there and said, hey, we're going to do 30 minutes, and then we'll let you know. And they knew the weather was coming in. They told us before the game. So they had a plan in place to watch it, because you never know how bad it's going to be in terms of the lightning and the severity of it. And it was severe enough where they called it, and they made a good call.
Given the number of quarterbacks last year and the year before who were forced to start games because of injuries just around the league, what's the value of figuring out now kind of how many serviceable backups you have, and what do you think of Rippon and Bajan today?
Yeah, I mean, those are two good quarterbacks. They can really operate, and they've played in games, and it's great to have that competition and have those guys in there. And they're great in the room. I'm in that room a lot, and they're superb in that room in terms of supporting Caleb and talking through the offensive plays and what they see and how they see it, and it's invaluable to have Shane in there, of course, and Kerry, but those two quarterbacks are a big piece of that too.
Matt, with Rippon specifically, what did he show you tonight?
Just what I saw in practice. He's been in this offense. He knows the offense well. He's heard the verbiage. He understands the concepts, and you can see that. He's definitely understands the space that needs to be occupied by the receivers and how they get open, and you could see that today. He was throwing guys open.
And get your first look at the new kickoff. What did you think in general, and what did you think of the return?
I say kickoff team wins today, right? I mean, they had the ball in the 20 a couple times, maybe 26 a couple times. So it was good by the cover teams. I thought that the return team struggled a little bit staying on blocks. It looked like to me. I'll go back and look at the tape, but that's what I saw on the field.
You guys just cautious not to reveal too much about what you're going to do with that as you are with your offense and defensive scheme in preseason games?
I think it's both. You're going to try to do that a little bit, but man, we're trying to figure this thing out. So it's like you have to figure it out. Like, hey, what is it going to look like? So we've tried different things on the return team and different way to attack on the cover team and putting different bodies in different spots. So we're really just trying to figure it out. And I think that's where all coaches are. We're just trying to figure it out and do the best thing we can. And that's going to be ongoing through the whole season because like anything else, you see things that are starting to work, you'll see it more and more and more, and then people will catch up to it, and then you'll have to adjust. That's what the NFL is.
Did Torrey not punting today, was that a function of you're going to see these guys in week 2?
Yeah, we're going to see them the rest of the we're hopeful to see them, so we'll see.
The Texans in week 2, I mean, was he a healthy scratch or there's no injury?
Yeah, there were several players that sat today.
What was the setup for Caleb today? What did you guys have him do, and what did you want him to do or pay attention to? Did you have any interactions with him during the game?
Yeah, so the setup for that once we got here was, you guys know we toured the hall, and that was great to see those guys. And then the next day, we really spent the morning, in walkthroughs. It was a heavy walkthrough day today, in terms of the guys not playing in the game. So we got a bunch of reps in there at the hotel. So that was really important to do that and really go through a game day function. Go through your first 15, go through the operation of that. What is the openers? And we did that. Had meeting and walkthrough with both offense, defense, and special teams, the guys that were not playing. And then, of course, we prepared the guys that were playing, too, with that same kind of operation. Once we got to the game, we wanted to do the pregame warm-up with all the guys that are playing, or the whole football team, so they got that operation down, so we wouldn't have to talk about that again. And so he went through the pregame, and then, bringing him into the right before the game, talking to him about what he needs to know based on the information we give him as the quarterback. And that's information that's pertinent to locations on the field, what we're doing, when we're going for stuff, all those things that we talk about.
Matt, you mentioned Colin Johnson, but what did you think of the catch? You went over the guy to make the catch, and then you almost did it again.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. It's too bad he didn't catch that one. That was another really good opportunity there. But, you got to get your hand underneath. They told us the ball was moving, and then it ended up touching the ground. So you got to finish the catch there. But, yeah, outstanding.
Is Bayless's place as a return man on this team pretty secure?
Bayless? Yeah, I think it's wide open right now. I really do. That's why you see, you guys are at practice. You see, 8 guys back there? So there's a lot of guys. It's you have to look at, and it's, to me, if you're like the back end of the roster, at linebacker, at receiver, or whatever those hot spots are, halfback, whatever it might be, man, the more you can do. So that's like, you got to be able to do a lot. So those guys, like if you're a 4-core guy and you're playing on all special teams and you're lighting it up, that's probably a good thing. So to me, it's all competition. That's why we do camp.
You mentioned all the things that you put Caleb through today. Is there value for him? I mean, does he gain a little bit of experience even just standing on the sideline and watching his first?
Yeah, it's his first time going through pregame, first time getting all the information. He was right there with halftime adjustment, so he got to see that for the first time. It's not, college, where you got 30-minute halftime and you can put a whole new offense in. I mean, come out running the wishbone. I mean, it's fast. So
you laid out how much you want Caleb to play in the preseason games as far as the experience you want him to get. So what do you need to see between now and next weekend's game in Buffalo to green light that, to have him out there?
Yeah, it's just going through the whole process. This is a big week for us. I mean, we got to really make strides here. We got to have a sense of urgency. We have to get better now, and we got to see that from everybody. And that's an important part to that. That's what we talk to the guys about. They understand that. So it's going to be a physical week. It's going to be a week where we got to get better. So.
From Devin speaking with the guys, what was your takeaway from Devin?
Yeah, just how appreciative he is of his time with the Bears and how much he loved that time with the Bears and the camaraderie he had with the guys. I mean, you could really feel that when he talked about that. And he knows how lucky he is. It was at 378 now in the hall, and he's one of those guys, and he really honors that. And really, he's just so excited to have that, and they could never take that away from him. And that's what we got from him. So it's good. Yep.